Perfect. Perfect.
Super. Yeah, so my name is Rob Nickerson. I am a founding member of OpenStreetMap United Kingdom, and here to talk to you about how we think we can make some progress on opening up a data set of UK addresses. So OpenStreetMap UK represents the interests of the OpenStreetMap community in the United Kingdom. And our members contribute to, are users of, and otherwise have interest in the OpenStreetMap project. Hopefully many of you, or all of you, are aware of OpenStreetMap, but for those not, very briefly, the OpenStreetMap project itself was founded in 2004 with the goal of creating an openly licensed map of the world and the subsequent data set. The project has grown to become one of the most successful collaboratively maintained open data sets in the world. Harry, I think your mic's on.
Hang on, sorry, I'm gonna mute everyone and then I'll unmute you. Sorry. All right, Rob, you should.
Yeah, so OpenStreetMap has become successful. It's now part of the geospatial data infrastructure supported by a rich ecosystem of individuals and organizations. OpenStreetMap United Kingdom itself is a not-for-profit. We're a community interest company, and we're delighted to be able to try and support the OpenStreetMap community as best as we can and to help grow the OpenStreetMap project. Our aims are shown there on the screen and include an aim to increase the quantity and quality of data in OpenStreetMap and to promote the release of more open data. So there's a problem and we think we found a solution. So the problem is many have tried to make the case for a free and open list of UK addresses and their location. Yeah, I think we're pretty obvious that this would be a massive benefit to both individuals and companies alike. However, the situation's horrifically complex in the UK with legacy agreements and legal barriers that are hindering progress to date. We think nothing will change unless we do something together, and we believe we've now found a solution that can be implemented today or very quickly. And that by combining forces, we can solve the problem. And the solution, we believe, is not even that too technically different and builds on things that already exist. We're not going to be provided a data set on a silver plate, so we need to create one. And we believe this is now possible by combining some existing open data and simplifying the process of crowdsourcing and contributing back to OpenStreetMap. So a quick look at the data sets that we think we can combine. So the first is land parcel polygons. So last year there was a change in OS terms to allow other public sector bodies to publish more data than previously. This is devolved. So there's two data sets that we'll use here, the HM Land Registry Inspire Index for England and Wales, and the Ross Inspire Cadastral Parcels data set for Scotland. So that gives you the boundaries of properties. And the second data set is either OS Open Map Local or the OS Open Zoom stack. So Open Map Local is a open data set with national coverage of Britain at 1 to 10,000 scale. It includes building outlines, but these are highly generalized and neighboring buildings are often merged together. The OpenStreetMap community has looked at these before and decided that they're too generalized to warrant an import into OpenStreetMap itself. However, we believe by taking the buildings out of OS Open Map Local and the Inspire polygons, we can combine the two data sets. So by combining those two data sets, we can derive a set of address centroids. So there's a screenshot in the background of how that would work with the polygons in red, the generalized buildings in blue, and you can see running it through a bit of simple processing, you can have a pretty good guess at where an addressable location is. It's indicated by the black marks. These estimates or guesses of where an addressable location are can then be fed into a mobile or web application to crowdsource the address details. Obviously, some bits like street can probably be guessed as well, the street name, according to what street is closest. The idea is we then feed this into a really simple user interface that makes it so much simpler to contribute via crowdsourcing than the multi-purpose OpenStreetMap editors like JOSM and ID. A single purpose editor can be made very simple and with wide extensive promotion, and we hope to be able to expand the number of people who support the crowdsourcing effort. So working with our community, we've identified and costed a route to delivering this project. It brings together expertise. So Russ Garrett from Open Infrastructure Map, Open Inframap, and Peter van der Venet from Map Complete and the OpenStreetMap Belgium community. Together with our own expertise here at OpenStreetMap UK. Technically, the project comprises two parts. Russ will pick up the first, whilst Peter will adapt his fantastic Map Complete website, which is a single-purpose crowdsourcer editor, which we think would be suitable for this. He'll adapt it so it's available or usable for our particular workflow. So that's the two technical stages of the project. And then in order to get as many people as contributing as possible, we'll follow up with some extensive promotional campaigns, try and get the word out, the message out, try and get some media coverage, that sort of thing. I encourage you to go have a look at Map Complete if you've not yet seen it. So how can you help unlock addresses? So there's 3 asks from us, if we can be so cheeky to put a couple of asks or 3 asks out. The first is funding. So OpenStreetMap UK itself is a really small not-for-profit, so we don't have particularly deep pockets ourselves. So we're after support, financial support, and we are spreading the burden of this around as many contributing organisations as possible. So working with Russ and Peter, we've produced a cost breakdown, which I can share with any individual who's interested in the detail. It brings the estimated overall cost to just under £10,000. And we've had some great offers already. So thanks to the generosity of many organisations, we've now got offers that cover us up to about 70%. So we're making really good progress on this. The other way you can help is we're going to establish a small advisory group to help steer the project at key points where we've got decisions to be made. And I know that many years of fighting for open access to UK addresses has resulted in a substantial amount of knowledge across many people who could help our project. And all support's welcome, whether it's technical, non-technical ideas on how to promote, how to get media coverage, how to get the largest number of people supporting the crowdsourcing effort, how to tweak and develop user interfaces so that they're really simple to use, that your aunt or grandparent could use it. That's what we're aiming for. And then lastly, helping us spread the word. So there's 27 million homes in the UK. It's going to be a big task. There is a lot to address. So the bigger that we can make the crowd, the quicker we will go. And the quicker we go, the more pressure we put back on the government to look again at the topic of whether there should be a official open access list of UK addresses. So that's it from me. Say all support and ideas are welcome. You can message me on rob@osmuk.org, and happy to take some questions.
Brilliant, just brilliant, Rob. As one of the scarred warriors of this long lasting battle to get open addresses, this is a fantastic idea. Really neat methodology. So I got a couple of questions for you. Have you thought about gamification?
No, not fully. And that one comes up. I've seen that come up several times within the OpenStreetMap community over several different topics. I know there's some people who support the idea, some caution around it if it leads to potentially some bad quality data if people are just going for stats. I think that's exactly the sort of question which a small advisory group of
Right.
knowledgeable people would be able to help with at that decision point along the process. I certainly think it's possible. It's just tuning it the right way to make sure it promotes the right behaviours and not the wrong behaviours.
Fair enough. Good point. Kaz asks, are My Society already involved in the project?
I have reached out to My Society, not heard back from the organisation directly, no.
Okay, I don't know whether Kaz actually knows anybody at My Society or had something specific in mind. Kaz, if you can reach, yeah, he's just messaged me to say, yes, I can prod them. Kaz, can you write down Rob's email address, rob@osmuk.org, and hook up with him afterwards? Brilliant. Really great project. Delighted that we've got you here. I think our job now, everybody, is they're 70% of the way there. Let's take them to 110%, 120%. So they've got a little bit of contingency funding. Inevitably, they're going to need this. Oh, a good question come up. So I'll just finish that, P. There's loads of you on this call who know somebody who could chip in £500, £1,000, businesses. I'm not talking about individuals. Spread the word, please. Let's get them funded, and let's get the funding in the bank by the end of next week, because it shouldn't be that difficult. This is just so useful to so many people. Couple more questions come rushing in, Rob. Is there a plan to include the UPRN?
Yeah, potentially. I think you could get quite a good match with the UPR endpoints. I think there's some challenges around, I think the UPRN dataset includes historic buildings that have been demolished, so it does make it a little bit awkward for doing matches, but where there's quite clean matches, then it could be a route to bringing that in. I know members of the OpenStreetMap community are already adding it in some places.
Okay. Yeah, because a couple of people, Paul Chapman and Mark Varley, have both asked questions about this. And the Open UPRN data set would give coordinates for free under OGL. Listen, guys, I'm going to wrap this up now and pass back to Ed. But Rob's email address is up there on the screen. Scribble it down and reach out to him directly. Peter Wells, same goes to you. Reach